de facto, pterodactyl when I'm micro and macro my mind. Why would I try to hide the fact that I'm jacked to be actually naturally high? And I'm that guy with the flashlight, looking back at the track with the black light. How about this? How about that? Pay attention to wax. You're free to see what that's like. And that's why we need to take things slow. And that's
All right, guys. Ian and Ben from Central Coast Disc Golf. Say what's up, Ben.
Hello, folks.
There he is. Well, let's watch some disc golf, Ben. And what are we watching today?
Today we've got the Vintage Cup from Napa, California at Skyline Wilderness Park. You take about a half-mile hike in, as you see these guys doing here.
Get nice and warmed up.
It's one of the hilliest courses I've ever seen in my life. Every basket is on the side of a hill, and you can expect some rollaways.
Cool.
They even had some water in the creek due to the wet El Nino season, and these guys are up to the challenge. You're going to see some great play all around. I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah. We saw Dallas in the SF Safari. He's tearing it up.
Dallas is a fantastic player. He's won this tournament, I believe, 6 or 7 times, and he got out to a fantastic start, getting 5 strokes on the entire field.
Dang.
This group right here, I think, were the only 4 players under par. It was dumping rain the first round. This one, you'll see a great mix of weather.
Nice. So we're starting off on hole 2 for fun reasons, and it's looks pretty straightforward. Just don't go right, Ben?
Yeah, it's a great low sidearm route like you saw Rob do, and then Dallas is going to go with the backhand, which is a much tighter line, unless you try to go with an Anheuser. And he says he gets a bonus kick here, bouncing right with a overstable destroyers. Not expected, but it worked out.
Yeah, definitely.
Dale's going to go with the beast. I'm thinking he's going to go for a slight turnover here.
Uh-oh.
And he seems to just release a little late, and that's trouble.
Yeah. Good kick, though.
But he did get kicked into the fairway. Should be able to, at the very least, get par.
Rob Frias going the Ben Baker line, forehand with an ape.
Why, thank you for remembering, Ian.
Yeah,
yes, I do love some forehand, especially forehand flex lines with the end of an ape.
Nice throw from Rob.
Yeah.
We got Lance.
Stoked, yeah. And here's Lance, someone who I spent some time playing AM1 tournaments with in Northern California.
Cool.
And he's originally from Utah.
Good looking throw. Oh!
Just such a clean line, and then the jerk branch, Ian.
The jerk branch got him.
I liked it so much, too.
I know. Ooh, almost recovers for the birdie.
Almost.
But like I said, not a bad kick. Dale?
Dale's got the Ching Aviar, which disc collectors will know a thing or two about. And apparently he's looking for more.
Yeah.
And he almost got the birdie there, just chaining out left side. Excellent attempt.
That's the trouble throwing oop plastic, man. You're always looking for it.
Yeah. And, you don't realize when you first get it, it's going to become a collector's item.
Nice birdies right there.
Yeah, nice tap in for Dallas, and then Rob, too.
Yep.
Lance and Dale going to have to settle for par on this one.
Yep. Definitely a birdie hole. When you're trying to
Definitely, yeah. Especially, my favorite thing about Napa is you take someone new there, and they're going to be like, oh, man, there's potential for a really bad rollaway on this hole. And you're like,
This one.
you've seen nothing yet.
Wow.
Oh, that is a little bit, devious of a laugh, but there's all kinds of different ways you can laugh and still get the same point across.
Nice, man. Dallas still crushing it. 6 strokes on to hole 3. What's the game here? Plan here, Ben?
It's a nice backhand flex shot if you got it. You can see a branch on the right side protruding a more open snake line. So you have to really come out hard left to right to make this shot work, or really, really thread the needle.
Ooh, Dallas did not turn that over, Ben.
No, just kind of got the nose up a little bit, and it hooked him left really quick. We'll have a tough upshot from there.
Rob should get some flip on this if he's throwing a turn.
Yeah, you would think the turn would be a good shot for this. If you have one of the heavier, more overstable turns, it can handle a flex line. And that's pretty much what he's doing here. It doesn't look like it's going to hook up hard, but he should have a putt from over there.
Yeah.
It's playing with the slope of the hill, so he shouldn't get a bad roll.
Yep. It was a nice landing.
Yeah.
Got Dale?
Dale's going to go with the TL here, the Glow TL. Love this approach. Just
flip up.
Skinny, straight, and just about perfect.
I think he almost aced that one, Ben.
He almost did. He cut right in front of it.
Crazy.
Lance throwing the Black Zombie rival. I don't know the whole story on that, but I guess it has something to do with some custom artwork, which I always like to see.
Oh, pretty good throw.
Yeah, another great shot, TL and a rival, kind of similar to T-Bird shots, and they both worked out pretty well.
Yep. I believe that was Dallas just laying up.
That was a great layup from in there.
Rob could run this. He got a little backstop.
Yeah, I'd say he's about 50, 60 out here, but he's looking at it like he wants it.
Yeah, good roll though.
It definitely could roll. All it takes is a bad hit off the cage, and you never know.
Oh, he did not get a bad hit off the cage, Ben.
He absolutely did not.
Wow.
Strong
Huge.
side and everything.
Huge putt. Yeah,
Fist pump, and Rob is
side.
ready to go. This is
Jeez.
Rob's home course, by the way.
Is it really?
Yep.
Nice.
He, in fact, works at a vineyard, and I believe just transferred to a new one.
Very cool.
People
Solid putt.
I forgot the right here. I forgot where Rob moved to, but they got a new disc golfer in town who's ready to hit putts like that.
Nice.
Lance also hitting a good putt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did.
Not quite as long, but his drive put him in a great spot. And speaking of which, how about that shot by Dale?
What?
Parked.
Dang.
That's how
Nice
you do
work.
it.
Yep.
Dallas settling for a par here, and
Mhm.
looks like second, third, and fourth places are all off to get him.
Yeah. Everybody getting a stroke on Dallas as leads down to 5.
Yeah. Always good to see a battle.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. On to hole 4, I believe they're playing the D pit.
I
the
think
B
it's
one.
the B, yeah.
Yeah.
D is a whole nother beast that you unfortunately don't get to see in this round, but it is one of the toughest holes that I've seen around. Uphill and daunting.
Uh-huh.
This particular position plays well for a forehand or a backhand roller, but it's
Uh-huh.
really tough to get through those trees up there.
Yeah, it seems like you can get like pretty good with a forehand, but not like parked.
Exactly. And the grass being high as it is here, extra difficult.
Mhm.
Makes it extra difficult. Dale's going to line up the backhand roller. He says, don't try it at home, and I don't throw backhand rollers at home anyway. There's like no room in here.
It's really hilly. You got to throw something really flippy to get up that hill, which it looked like he did, Ben.
Yeah, he's got a champion beast that he seems to trust to turn over, but
Wow.
working uphill in the high grass, it looks like it got slowed down a little early.
Looks like a forehand from Lance.
Lance, I believe, also throwing an ape here,
Uh-huh.
and he kind of takes the wide route. I mean, if you get past that last tree, you should
Uh-huh.
have an open putt, but that's
Really?
a long throw.
Okay.
Yeah. But, you know, it's hard to get past that tree and then hook up enough to get yourself in the circle.
Dallas going backhand
Air
air
shot.
shot. Wow.
Yeah. Just the Anheuser trying to sneak right at that tree, and, you know, he's going to give himself a putt. He's not, you
Uh-huh.
know, I don't even think he's in the circle, but he's putting.
Yeah, not bad. Really tough hole. Probably don't see very many birdies at all.
No. And you can see Lance, you know, he got past the tree, but he didn't get far enough right.
Yep.
Dale with the roller got about pin high.
Oh, scared it, man.
He had a chance.
Yep.
It's a good place to be, but
Mhm. He wanted it for sure.
yeah. And then Rob, forehand, he's putting, but he's not that close. And just a little high and wide, but got to run at it.
Uh-huh.
Dallas with the silhouette close up. He's lining this one up. Bang.
Wow. Beautiful shot and a beautiful putt.
Way to get a stroke back after losing one on the rest of the guys the hole before.
Right? That's probably a stroke on the field.
Yeah, I mean,
Or
that's
like
really
probably
tough.
a couple
birdie.
people, you know.
I could see another couple birdies on this hole, you know,
Mhm.
just having similar putts to the other guys and
Sure.
sinking them, but you know, this is not an easy birdie despite being 220 feet.
No, not at all.
Lance has got a par save look, and he's got it.
Good putt.
About those clouds, Ian.
Oh, beautiful, man.
Yeah, this is Napa. It's a really beautiful course, and yet it comes with all these rollaways. So
Yeah, right.
it's an emotional roller coaster.
I like elevation in my disc golf course. I mean, it makes it more fun.
Me
you know?
too.
It's an added element.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Always provides extra challenges, which to me is kind of what it's all about. Nobody wants to play on a boring course.
Speaking of elevation, I'm headed up to Montana pretty soon.
Oh yeah.
Ohart Ranch, Rocky Mountain Disc Golf Championships.
I gotta say that sounds awesome.
Cannot wait for that. Dallas taking that lead back out to 6. He's like, getting that stroke back.
That's right.
Yep, hole 5. Where are you throwing, Ben?
Hole 5 is a big spike hyzer going uphill. You can see the slope of the hill the way it plays here. If you get an unfortunate angle, you might just roll way the heck down there.
Mhm.
See, the birds are hanging out on the fairway.
Is that what that is?
I do believe so.
Huh.
Actually, you know what? That might be some wood.
Yeah, I think so. Dallas with a crushing overhand, Ben.
You know, we haven't even got into it yet, but Dallas is very well known for his overhand shot.
Dang. He wasn't throwing those at the Safari. I hadn't seen that out of him.
Well, it doesn't really play for a lot of overhand shots. You
That's
know,
true, yeah.
Safari tends to have a lot of branches hanging over the tee pads in a lot of cases, or
Mhm.
just not giving you clean lines for the overhand. But courses like this, if you have a good overhand, you're going to get a few strokes
Mhm.
on the rest of the field, even.
Looks like a good throw from Rob. Looking at Dale. And there is OB left at the basket, Ben.
There is. If you get a little too high, a little too long, you can reach it. But honestly, it's a pretty big throw just to get there.
Yeah.
However, this being the open lead card, these guys can do that.
Mhm.
Dale also with a good shot, similar
Yeah.
to Rob's.
See, looks like Lance is lining up that hyzer line.
Yeah. Plays for a pretty strong spike. You really can't get too flat.
Mhm.
Like Lance might even be a little bit short just because it got a little flat on him.
Okay.
Dale is actually long,
Wow.
but he also was a little too flat because he's
Mhm.
long and deep. Oh, good putt, good run.
Mhm.
Lance, this angle doesn't really do this putt justice, but he had to pretty much go around the right of these trees.
So he's also coming back at the basket, right?
Yeah, he actually, yeah. But it was a little too flat, you see. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
he went long of it.
Really got to hug that tree, which Dallas did, and
Dallas
gets
did.
another stroke.
Yeah. Hugged it over the top, and then Rob actually hugged it tight. And
Wow.
got himself a park job.
Oh.
It's kind of like you got to risk it to get the biscuit.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
Tisket a tasket. You got it in the basket in two. It's a birdie.
Wow.
I'm a rapper, Ian.
I was not aware. Dale cleaning up his par.
No player.
Uh,
Hole 5 is a classic hole. Wait till you see the long position on this hole, Ian.
Yeah.
Maybe next year. Hopefully. I'll tell you, too, these Napa guys were really welcoming to me.
That's
they
awesome,
were
man.
stoked to have us out there.
Very cool.
Yeah.
It's fun seeing a cool course like this, you know.
Yeah. They deserve a really good serve up, so I'm happy to do that.
Awesome, man. We're on to hole 6. It's like a slight dogleg right, but going over the top looks like is the play for Dallas again.
Dallas has got what you may have yet to see is Captain America Firebird, and he throws it well.
Awesome.
This is got a little local coverage here. Joe Harrigan running a putt on, I believe, hole 7. We'll see more of that in a second. Here's Spencer Ling, who just showed me some times in Lake Tahoe.
Very cool.
See, this is basically the line that you want to throw. It's risky, but if you pull that off, that's probably parked.
Nice.
Here's
Vineyards?
a little bit of the vineyards, yeah. Hole 6, we had a backup, so I killed some time by getting some artsy shots. Yeah.
Right on.
And there's your panorama.
Uh-huh.
That was Dale Dennett, who was my caddy, if you will, for the day, helping me out. As well as Scott, who was Dallas's caddy.
Nice.
Dallas is lining up either a thumber or a tomahawk here. I think it was a thumber.
Yeah, it was.
And you can't see it perfectly, but that's a really good shot.
Look like it got way down there.
Yeah.
So Rob's going overhand too.
Yep. Got some good cut on it.
A little
And
shorter and righter than Dallas's.
short and right, but I think half the battle on this hole is getting past that first set of trees.
It looks like it. It's a tiny gap.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Dale's going to try to thread it, but he goes a little wide, gets a kick, and he's going to have a tough look for par save.
I do not blame anyone taking the overhand on this one.
No, Lance following their lead.
Mm-hmm.
Got his, I think, Sparkle Firebird, and he gets a harsh kick.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Heading right over for the tee of hole 8. That's going to make for a very tough par save.
He got a little greedy on the elevation there.
And here's Wright Mormon, our host. I had to get it in there.
Saw it like a forehand.
Wright put me up for the night, and was a great host.
Very
Thanks,
cool.
Wright.
So looking at Lance's second shot.
Lance going with his less stable Firebird, going to try to hook one up and over,
Oh,
but
no.
that branch makes it pretty
Oh.
tough.
It fought through a little bit, though.
It did, but I don't think he reached it yet.
Yeah.
Dale's got a really tough look behind all these bushy trees here. He's
Wow.
going to try an overhand, and he told me he does not often throw those.
Uh-huh.
And he also told me that this is an indication of that. I didn't think it was so bad myself, but
Uh-huh.
he was disappointed to not reach
Yeah.
it.
No, take it apart. This is Lance's third shot, right, Ben?
It is Lance's third shot, and wow, the wind seemed to kind of have its way with him there. It's
Uh-huh.
like there's a left to right going on.
Gonna be putting for bogey.
Yeah, and it's a long one.
I'm looking at Rob's second shot.
Just a nice little rhino upshot.
Looks
And
like he almost tried to
Yeah.
lay it up in there a little bit.
maybe half go for it.
Mm-hmm. That was
And
Dale
Dale
say
does
par.
But yeah,
Yeah.
bit of a death putt, if you will. Dale is one of the death putt team players,
No way.
and he shows you why.
Dale.
Dale
How's it-
Gatlin, ladies and gentlemen,
how's
Santa
it-
Cruz local.
That's
San
legit.
Francisco area, current
Uh-huh.
local. Dale actually went to Harbor High. It's kind of the rival high school of mine on the other side of Santa Cruz,
Okay.
and we have a lot of fun talking smack to each other.
Nice.
At least I like it.
For sure.
Dallas
Went
had
long.
birdie look, but yeah.
Wow.
And then this is Lance trying to save bogey, and he
Nice.
just takes his medicine.
Yup. Sometimes you gotta just do it.
You gotta, yeah. It's not easy,
Mhm.
but a course like this, I find it helps to go into a round at Napa knowing that at some point I'm going to take my medicine.
Yeah.
And then just accepting it when it happens. Because a shot like that, you could run, but it looked like he had an awkward footing,
Low ceiling.
low ceiling. Obviously, it's on a hillside, just like every other hole, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he probably made a smart move.
Yep.
If it's not in your heart, you know,
Mhm.
lay it up. Dale still stoked on that putt by the other Dale. That's Dale Dennett talking about the Dale Gatlin putt.
That was legit.
Yeah. That's how you score out at Napa. You're
Yeah.
gonna have to make a few putts that are gutsy.
Yep. Saving par
Yeah, it goes both ways. There's
from
a time
really
to lay it,
far.
go for it.
Yeah. Hole 7's 205.
Yep, this is one we saw Joe Harrigan putting on a minute ago. It plays really well for a sidearm, but also if you got a thumber over the top. Really easy to get a roll into a very uncomfortable lie. There's some really bushy trees left of the basket that are pretty much pitch or nothing.
Gotcha. So it looks like Dallas finished left.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a putt.
Mhm.
Rob with a more typical sidearm line, taking that 8. You know, I love that.
Ooh, that looked good.
Yeah.
It's sad anyway.
Almost aced it.
Mhm.
And Dale's going to actually throw the putter line, which is pretty cool. You know, 200 feet up and over these trees with Anheuser. A little gutsy, but Dale's been here before.
Ooh, I like it.
Oh, yeah. Great shot.
If anything will sit, it's that shot.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. It should end pretty much with the slope of the hill if it's slowing down.
Yep, totally.
And Lance with a very nice thumber shot.
Mhm. Again, if that's sat, that should be good.
Yeah, he's calling for the sit, and he didn't look disappointed.
Mhm.
Look, Rob is out at all 4 of them.
Wow.
You know,
Dallas
it
is
might
closer
only-
than I thought.
Yeah, yeah.
You're Rob.
Ooh, sneaks it in.
That was getting flirty right there.
Uh-huh.
Almost got denied.
And every one of those putts, you got to think, if
Mhm.
that just misses, it might be 200 feet down the hill.
Yeah, good point.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. That looked
Oh,
pro side spit out.
that one missed, but it did a nice little flip out of the chains.
Yeah.
Got himself in a non-roll position.
Yep.
Well played.
Indeed. Great shot from Dale.
Yeah,
That was a beautiful Annie putter shot. Love that shot.
yeah. That's the way it's done. I mean, he made that look easy.
Mhm.
That's a very tough shot.
Short rock shot.
Yeah. Or I mean, I think he used an AVR P&A, but you'd probably need a broken in rock to really
Yeah, you
that
would.
line right.
Beat McPro rock or something.
Yeah, I think that would be kind of the ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Good battle.
Yep.
Still pretty similar scores.
Mm-hmm. What's the game plan on hole 8, Ben?
Hole 8's a really scenic shot. We're not going to see the hard left positions that are really cool, but this is maybe the more scenic one, and it's just a temptress. It's looking at you right there, 395 feet away, but you see the hill behind it.
Mhm.
There's trouble left, trouble right. Like right here, if Rob fades out early,
It's going real far.
it's going real far, but he hits a branch and gets knocked down. Should be able to lay up for par.
Dale, I'm sure, has the power to get there. He's been crushing.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Flips on him, rides that line a little too much, and he is headed down that hill. Ian.
Ooh.
That is not where you want to be.
Wow. Looks like it might be kind of protected from a headwind up here, you know? Those trees.
Those trees, and then you don't realize until you get out there, but
Yep.
there is, I believe, headwind going on.
Yep. Looks like-
Lance throws it up high enough that it should fade, and it
wow.
does. So Lance will actually have a putt.
Yeah, right on line.
Yeah.
Dallas going to destroy those big beast ones are
That's pretty-
McStable, man.
That's what he told me. They're pretty overstable, but he put some heat on it, and
Wow.
it's going to be over by Dale down the hill.
Mm-hmm.
Backdoor.
We'll catch up with those two in a sec.
Hopefully they can save par.
Yeah.
Looking at Dale's second shot.
Dale down the hill with his beast, I believe, and he couldn't really run up into that stance, and that made for a very difficult upshot. He's going to be short.
How'd Dallas turn out?
I kind of missed Dallas's there, but he fared a lot better than Dale.
Okay. Is Rob over there? Yeah.
Rob is putting from a blind spot. I didn't want to walk right into his lie.
For sure.
Yeah, it worked out okay.
And his course is so pretty.
Yeah. Yeah, and it'll continue being that way in its own. Every hole's a little different.
Dale almost made a pretty putt, but not quite.
Here's Lance's birdie look. Staring it right in the face.
What a great drive.
Yeah. This is definitely one to get. The suspense builds.
Oh, Lance.
Oh,
buddy. That would have been struck in the field right there, probably.
Lance, really nice guy. Hate to see him just come up a little short.
Yep.
Front rim banger.
Indeed. Gotta want it, man.
Goes down in CCDG lore. I feel like he wanted it. And he may have wanted it enough and still released it early.
No,
okay.
You gotta want it, dude.
Yeah, I guess you have to want it.
Yeah, if it doesn't go over the rim, you didn't want it, man. I've heard Feldberg hates when we say that.
Well, that's, we're hitting the big time.
That's
yeah. I mean, look at this mist right here. This was really pretty. And then we actually got rained on the next hole, and there was a good, 5-minute break there. We all broke out the umbrellas. Once again, thanks to Dale Dennett, helping me out with the umbrella big time.
Very cool.
I brought it along, and I was like, I don't know if I'll need it or not, but I sure as heck wouldn't mind having someone carry it for me.
Yeah, it's clutch.
And Dale was like, hey, you mean I get to follow the lead card? Let's do it. Like, you are a champ. Thank you.
Love it. Hole 9, 231 downhill. You got the Heiser line, Tomahawk, or is anybody picking for him, Ben?
Yeah, but it's kind of a tough line. Getting up and around that tree on the left is probably a little bit of a bigger shot than it really looks like. This is more traditional, taking something like a gator and just spiking it around this tree. It's only 231 feet, but it plays on a real hard right to left, so if you throw something too fast, it can skip and go way down the hill. Take a gator and you should be okay. The idea is to hit a little early on the right and slide up to it.
Wow.
Lance might even gone a little long, but he's pretty close unless he rolled, and doesn't look like he rolled. See, Dallas...
Firebird, dude? I'd be so scared of a Firebird skip on this one.
That's exactly what I'm saying. It's a pretty gutsy move. If I was him, I would aim this extra wide or give it more spike than usual.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like he tried to go high and it got knocked down.
Something, dude.
And there's your big Firebird skip.
Yeah.
Captain America.
We'll see how that worked out.
On the hill. See if one of the Avengers can help him out. I don't know if you heard about Hulk. Latest Marvel issue.
Dale, that was pretty good, right?
So, another great gator shot, but he unfortunately did roll, and there he is pitching up.
Ooh.
It looked like a good shot that just caught bad luck. And there's Rob went long.
Wow.
But he makes a great layup. He's also using a rhino, or used a rhino before. It's a different rhino that he likes to use.
Okay. Dallas does have a birdie look, man.
Yeah, he got that huge Firebird skip, but he's got a look.
Oh, wow.
Almost
got it.
Dallas is a pretty legendary putter. You can never really count him out.
Dude, for real.
Yeah.
Good putt from Lance.
Yeah, definitely. There's the birdie.
Wow. There's a one on the card right there, then.
Yeah, definitely. Which is nice. Lance got that double a little while ago, and he kind of had a really harsh kick off the tee that didn't seem completely fair. His shot may have been a little offline, but was it 2 strokes offline? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
So nice to see him get a birdie here.
Nobody else cleaning up there.
Yeah.
What a beautiful shot.
Yeah. Not too bad the umbrella got in the way.
Well, more the view, I guess. Then.
Okay.
Yeah. Dallas with a 5-stroke lead. Still doing Dallas work.
We got one more hole since they started on hole 2.
Okay.
It's 9 holes apiece, these videos. Hole 10, it's got some really tough positions, but this is the birdie or die position.
Really? 180? Wow.
180, and it plays like a long layup, but it's skinny. It's not a gimp.
Gotcha. Wow, Lance going thumber.
Yeah, he's going to throw a nice little cut thumber here. You see how he gets that plate cutting over really quick, and it's supposed to slide left to right on the hill, and it does, right around that tree.
Yeah, he slid right behind the basket.
Big money right here. Big money.
Very pretty shot. And then Rob's talking here about how he got this for the ace pot. In a minute, Dale gives him crap and says, "You play for the birdie, you don't play for A's." But personally, as a video guy, I say go for the A's.
Go for the ace, man. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, even if you lose money.
Yep. Take it the bend line.
Yeah.
Forehand.
What?
Champ 8.
Throwing an ape, 180 feet, not always recommended, but if you're going for the A's, not a bad idea.
You got that backstop.
Yeah,
You know?
you do have the backstop, and he used it really well.
Ooh.
It is kind of a putter shot as Dallas tries, but he gets a little too much on it and trouble on the right.
Yep, leaked right.
Yep.
Dale also going putter.
Dale also, it's also a putt and approach AVR.
Mhm.
And yellow.
Looks like he kind of corrected off Dallas's a little bit.
Yeah, and just
Slides it right
also
up.
taking that left to right finish to perfection.
Mm-hmm.
Very nonchalant about it, but he's got to be happy with the way that ended up.
Definitely.
Crew in effect.
Mhm.
Skyline.
Dallas probably kind of pitching out here. Might be running a little bit, but oh,
Good run.
Yep.
Yep. He's probably losing a stroke on the lead card here,
I think you're right, sir.
but he's not going to give up that easy.
Mm-hmm.
Rob's got an interesting knee putt here.
He does.
Definitely not a gimme.
See if he can Jerry Eshelman it right in there.
That's very well said. Yeah. Jerry Frias with the bird. Or should I say Rob Eshelman?
There you go. I like that one. See if Lance can keep pace.
Just had the pleasure of filming Jerry Eshelman at the King of the Lake video. Stay
Yes.
tuned for that.
Super nice guy.
Yeah. Pretty amazing skills out there too. Jerry's quite the NorCal legend.
Definitely.
And yeah, you can see 3 birdies out there, but Dallas loses one on the card, and
Mhm.
Rob's got it down to 4 strokes.
Cool.
I believe
Awesome.
we're heading to hole part 2 in a second here.
Yeah. Thanks
Stay
for watching.
tuned.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you around.